Wow. Hello! Welcome back to another video of me showing you a device. This time it's the IK Multimedia Uno Synth Pro. It's USB powered. As usual, I use a power bank for anything that is USB powered, simply because there's a lesser chance that any hum or anything is involved there. It has two USB connectors, one input, phone's CV gate. Yeah, it has two CV gates, because the sequencer in here is actually useful. It has real sized MIDI connectors, which is also nice. Yeah, and it's an it's an ugly duck. Okay, let me start the 15 minutes. First, the weak parts of it. Okay, it's a bit noisy. Let me maybe the cutter can cut off the mic that you can hear the noisiness. It's not too much. It's a lot less than the Typhon, and also than the Uno Drum, if I remember right. So it's okay. It's acceptable in a way, but I have to say it's a bit noisy. It's not quite. The interface itself is somewhat self-explaining, but it's not the most beautiful. So the designer didn't took too much care to make it appealing, but everything makes kind of sense. There are some quirks. So for example, if you go in the effects, so it's a matrix based. It's a little bit of a hybrid from a pure matrix based interface like the Waldorf Blofeld, for example. But it has a dedicated cutoff knob. It has big buttons, and yeah, so it's surprisingly good to tweak, to use, with the only problem that the travel you need for any input is quite a lot. So you see, that doesn't work. Hello. Okay, maybe I did something wrong here. Okay, hold doesn't work. Ah, it's a beautiful reverb, isn't it? So for example, I was about to say, like, there's a little bit of a problem in the UI here. For example, if I want to change the reverb type, okay? So I'm in the FX section down here. I tweak the reverb knob, and then if I press the data, I can edit the reverb type, for example. So if I now use the cutoff, unfortunately the data knob is tweaking the cutoff as well, which is semi-senseful. Oh, what kind of word was that? And there I found a couple of other, not too much, but some like inconsistencies. Also mostly coming from, you see, like I don't want to, okay, mostly coming from that submenu, which are active once you're in, for example, the FX section. Also the matrix is a little bit, so it has 16 modulation possibilities and 16 source destination amount. It's like really like level down, another level, and then back again, and then at least the back button is like really underneath, so that makes total sense, and it kind of it gets into the muscle memory after time, but it's not elegant. Others did this better. Okay, apart from that, I can pretty much go immediately to the strength, because the sound Okay. I programmed something on my own, and I show you some presets, okay? So you have a good overview of what this thing can do, especially the ones that I like. Do you remember what I played? Okay, it's a nice lead sound, isn't it? It's it's very useful. It's very useful. Oh yeah, and it's paraphonic. So you can press some kind of chord. Oh, I'm in C minor again. Such a surprise. It's 3 oscillators per voice. It just has one voice. But those 3 oscillators can be paraphonic. So it's possible to play pads, right? With the exception that every time you trigger a new note, the whole sound gets triggered. What reverb is that? Okay, that's a plate. Is it? Amount must mean some modulation amount. Yeah. Okay. What's the longest the plate can do? 30 seconds? Okay. Let's do a large 30-second pad on which C minor. Okay, wait. Oh yeah, I should open the reverb amount, right? Wow. So if you ask me, this really is reverb-wise Hydra synth quality, isn't it? But with a totally different basic sound. Another bass. Cool. What was the next one? 117 minority. Ah, yeah, sure. That's the 3-voice step chord. What's the filter doing here? A prayer? Ah, yeah. Mm-hmm. 132. Another paraphonic. So there's a synth that I reviewed earlier from a French company where I was a little bit complaining about a lack of brightness, and I'm still not sure if I was unfair, but in comparison to here, also if you look on the frequency diagram, the very, very high frequencies, they just go through. Okay, so even above 20 kilohertz, there is a lot of going on, and I'm curious how they made it possible with the effects section. Must be a high count, a high frequency, a high sample rate chip which is on here. By the way, I really like how the effects sound. I think they're really useful effects. I didn't check the audio in, to be honest, but with effects as good as those, it should be possible to do something very nicely. Hey, why isn't the hold knob working? It's not working. Why? Okay, Alt store preset. The hold isn't working. There must be some. I'm sure I did something wrong. Okay, I'm pretty sure I did something wrong here. I mean, there's this thing. So, for example, the delay, it's not possible to... Okay, I cannot hold a sequence. Okay, why? Why? I thought in the beginning the sequencer is quite useful in here, and I just recently discovered the strength of 303 style bass lines. So every time I see a sequencer inside a machine, I think Typhon brought me on that, because the sequencer in the Typhon is quite powerful and somewhat easy to use, not fast, but if you're like offline from a live environment, it's very cool to program nice sequences. And here it's quite the same. And again, the effects in combination with the somewhat mild and polished raw sound really do it. Hello. is over. Okay, conclusion. Sound-wise, the synth is really good. There's pretty much no doubt about it. Seriously. It has the combination of good sounding effects together with a warm and quite, what did I say? Pleasant. A quite pleasant basic sound. Not really trying to mimic another Moog clone or another 303, you name it. Free. The very pleasant, round, pure sound in combination with the effects really does something very useful, not for all genres. So I believe if you're doing like lo-fi, hip-hop, or even drum and bass with those nice basses here, the milder types of genres, if you're doing something like that, you're going to be very happy. If you're looking for some raw aggression, it's not the right machine for you. The keypad is a pain to use. It really is. I know it's made in Italy, so there are people. It's an Italian company who is building this touch panel, and I'm sorry to say, but it still isn't good. It's a bit better than the Uno Drum from what I remember how it reacts and the false reactions, the false trigger or non-trigger, which is the bigger problem here. So, for example, the tiny, how are they called again? The tiny squared synths from that English company, I forgot the name now. They also have a keypad like this, which is overly reacting. It's very, very hectic, but for a keyboard which awaits input, it's much better than this. This way is better. You know what I wanted to say. Okay, the buttons are also, the travel from the buttons is strangely far, while the buttons themselves are very rubbery and mild and round. So probably I would be more happy with the bigger version, because it's not really possible to play something that much on point that if you're the one playing the main melody in the rock band setup, I wouldn't rely on a keyboard like this, okay? Yeah, apart from that, I mean, the thing that really counts is the sound, okay? And in that perspective, this thing is really good. It's impressively good. Yeah, so thanks for watching. And the squeak was the chair that I have down here. I wasn't farting. No. What I was about to say, nothing specific. Just thanks for watching. And did you see the travel from the microphone? I think it's gonna. If you skip to the very beginning, it should be a bit higher. It's like a. Yeah. Again, thanks for watching.